Oh my gosh, Chad. Oh my gosh, viewers. Welcome, welcome. Oh my god, I almost bungled my own timing. These usually close at 8 o'clock, so I was in the lock. I was in for 8. And I looked down, I was like, let me just double check all my settings. Let me make sure everything's okay. I messaged this person, I did that. I was like, oh, shoot, 7:15. So, we're doing a crash course. I'm shaking the rust off. We're here to entertain, and we're going to have a good time, and we're not going to have an anxiety attack, and everything's going to be fine, and I promise. But, so, if it's your first time here, what's going on is, my name is Bailey. I operate an eBay store called Grandma's Dead Stock, and alongside my business partner, Patty, of Patty's Pop-Ups, that is Paddy, we do operate our own auction house, okay? And this is called The Warehouse, as in W-H-E-R-E. Like, where is it? At the warehouse type deal. You get the gimmick. And we run monthly auctions. At the moment, we're going to be firing them off. So actually, more than monthly. What we like to do is online auctions can be a lonely experience, right? You're just sitting there getting competitive over the dollar values of items. And a little ditty that I came up with alongside the road is... Oh my god, getting a chatbot that's just tired of streaming to zero is like, that's like straight to the heart, bro. Come on. But at least have a chatbot that lies to me, dog. Come on. It probably works for people, though, to be fair. People with bad self-confidence. Like, yeah, I am tired of zero. But I digress. As you can tell, I've done this a while. I've done a couple different versions of it and formats of it. But I recently took a month off. So I got to shake the rust off for streaming. And what a crash course way to do it. My life has really been playing its tricks and tomfoolery on me in a way that's like interesting. I got to heed the lessons I'm being blessed with, bro. And it just so happens that it's like, okay, I guess today's lesson is I got to get back to the streaming, because then otherwise I would have been on top of this scheduling issue. But oh my gosh, what a hilarious. Imagine if I was late to my own auction reaction stream. But so we're going to flip right over to the max sold page just to waste no time. And typically, I like to review the items. I like to run through a little bit of like my storytelling of how we got the pieces. Usually my business partner will be here, but I am a single dude who exists on the internet and is quite lonely. And Patty here is a responsible father. So the thing is, his dad, he's got his dad duties. And that was my food delivery. See, I do have a lovely roommate, though, so I'm not all that lonely. And whatever internet folks are on the other side of this ether that I yell into, which I do appreciate you for showing up. This is all sit and jest. Rambles aside, usually I like to give a little story time. I like to walk through all the items here that we got going on today. I'll tell you why, how I got them, what I found them, what the story is, etc. But seeing as... I dropped the bloody ball on ETAs. Today, what we're going to do, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to switch it right now. See? My own pattern throwing me off. I got to do my pre-stream post on the one channel here. And then we're ready to get excited. I got everything handled. Oh my gosh, this is, if I have one lesson for people looking to get into their own self-employment, bro, get ready for adaptability. And I be beating myself up about that because, big issue of mine, I try not to, like, mess up timelines. Like, I'm typically pretty good at having this stuff down pat. And almost every single one of these max sold auctions, they come up for 8 p.m. They come up for 8 p.m. So I was just tripping. I was like, let me get my fresh air. I'll get started. We'll do the chit chat for an hour. It's like, oh my gosh, I need to run home now. I got to run home now. But so I typically like to sort things by most bids. I find it the most important feature to understand, like in terms of statistics, particularly because as the professional seller, as someone who does this full time, What I think is infinitely more important is to understand the amount of market demand an item has, in contrast to particularly just what's selling for the most money, right? Like, if I can post, see, we've got the massive kitchen lot down here in the corner right now. We've got the massive kitchen lot. If I can easily walk into a home that me and Patty are helping with the downsizing or the clearing of, and I can identify here's a whole pan lot and know that that's going to draw attention. When I'm doing these styles of downsizing auctions, that is incredibly, incredibly more valuable to me than being able to like rummage through a house and being able to find that one antique that sells for $500. Because if I can do that pots and pans thing 500 times, I did make more money, right? And when we are working with clients, we work with real estate agents. We work with people whose family members unfortunately passed. There's a couple different variables of the scenarios that end up that they need assistance with ethical junk removal. And I find a critical component of being able to do that effectively is understanding where those products can go in the most efficient amount of time and profit generation, right? So our business, the nature of it means that we're not necessarily, well, we are hoarding way too much right now, but our objective isn't to be hoarding items to the point that they maximize their sales potential. It should be, okay, we cleared out this entire house. We can put this to a specialty market. We can put this to eBay. And then, okay, we cleared out the entire kitchen. What's the best way to allocate these items into bundles that are desirable to people to purchase, right? And again, it's not about the maximization of that profit value. It's about the appeal, because we truly do it for the ethical, good boy reason of the business, right? We want to make sure that these things find a home where they would be appreciated and reused and recycled, right? Like, that's critical. It's extremely important to us and valuable. So being able to bundle these items, create lots, quote unquote, when you're in our industry, it's a tough skill to develop, but it's a tough skill to develop, and it's very important if you are in the capitalist perspective of it and you're trying to generate as much bloody money as possible. But then for our perspective as well, it really helps me to make sure that, again, say this lot of pots and roasters actually gets purchased and actually gets used, you know? And this vacuum, bro, this vacuum was just, I can't get over this vacuum. Why is the vacuum $55? The vacuum, it's always the things that you don't expect and you put no effort into, because the vacuum, I was just like, I don't need this. It was literally in the way. The vacuum was in my way as I was trying to do photography. It was like, I was grumbling under my breath about the disorganization of my business partner. I was like, yeah, I'm selling the vacuum. I was just inundated with stuff like we are right now, and it's a pain in the ass. I'm just inundated with crap. And I was like, okay, no, I'm taking vacuum, I'm putting it up. I don't want to see this anymore. And at $55, it's a good vacuum price. But because we're cutting it close, so we're going to get everything set up. I want to warn everyone, if it's your first time at a Max Sold auction, there is a little bit of glitchiness in the process. As you can see, the timers are not exactly accurate. Even here, it says 2 minutes left when there should be 5 minutes left. The literal time frame on this auction does not always line up with what it says. So if you want a specific piece, make sure you watch list the item, and then you can click on the auction watch list tab. I do appreciate the collaborative nature of Max Sold and having them be our business partners. However, I am not the most stoked on the format of their software. The user interface, it's not friendly for y'all. This should be way more efficient. This hide closed lots tab, another example, glitchy. Dark mode reader, can't turn dark mode reader on. You lose all the photographs. Too bad for people who are visually impaired. But I digress. We got a minute left. The items are coming up. We're gonna try to get right into it. We're shaking off the rust. We're gonna shake off the rust today, everyone. And then our auction pickup is on Sunday. So if you want to come through you enjoyed my eclectic nature, you'll be able to see me in person. I will have a helping hand. Unfortunately, Patty will not be able to be there for Sunday, so I will have a helping hand greeting you, and I will be your little goblin who gets all the treasures out of the cave for you. If that sounds appealing, if you ever looked for a cute boy goblin. And we have 45 seconds left. The auction closing process is beginning. I'm going to have a big bite of this toast, and then I will eat afterwards, okay? Thank you, everyone, for participating. If it's your first time here, this is something we do on a monthly basis. I also work with another auction house called Acorn Auctions Hamilton, who runs a high bid auction. So it is a lovely experience to see the contrast of how these items result in their different niches. Now, the one that is blowing my mind, the Blue Mountain Pottery for only $9 is intense to me. That is absurd. I cannot believe this. My microphone seems a little high. Chat hasn't said anything, but I'm going to lower you down just a little bit just to make sure that I'm not clipping. And it looks like I am at the appropriate level now. The Blue Mountain Pottery vase, only $9 is wild to me. And it looks like the hide closed lots button is finally working. Shouts out to Max Sold for not being a broken platform, even though it is. Psych, I love them. I just think the user experience could be a bit more comfortable for people on your side. $13. On this 3-piece floral Pyrex set. Like new in box is insane. I've literally never seen Pyrex in that condition. I could not believe that this is the price it's going for. It's the nature of the auction business, I can't really get too upset about it. I'm not stoked about it, but it is what it is. I can't get too upset. $13, I guess that's what it went for. We've got the stunning Starburst Crystal set, $4. Had no bids on it earlier, so I'm just glad that it's at least finding a good home. It truly is beautiful. We took it out of a very recent pick, and it's a great set. No one uses crystal like that anymore, so I totally get it. It's like this weird dichotomy of like vintage piece, historical piece, is pretty, is beautiful, but doesn't really have modern applications. Same with this astounding solid wood plant stand, $6. That's like one of a kind. You won't even be able to find that in a modern day home sets. So $6 is a steal for this solid wood plant stand that could be used both indoors or outdoors. The Lord's Prayer Bell, classic glass. Lord's Prayer, come on, bro. $1? Do people only paying $1 for a prayer? That's it? Jesus' prayer with $1? I'm not even a Jesus guy, and all due respect to if you are a Jesus person. I just thought that was a funny premise, not the premise of him himself. Again, this vacuum. Vacuum, didn't care for it. Vacuum, getting a lot of intense competition, it seems. We are at $65.11. And given the nature of this stream, since I was late to dropping in, it definitely makes sense if we do some review time afterwards. So then we can get caught up on the results of these items, especially considering the laggy nature of Max Sold. I am very unsatisfied with the user experience here. But it is good to see that at least the lots that weren't getting any love or attention before are at least going to go to a good home for $1. It seems like we have some competition at the miscellaneous tool lots, the Rubbermaid sacks, all these things that were $1. This LA Lakers metal trash bin hurts my feelings. I'm going to put a $5 bid on my own trash bin because I can sell that for a butt ton more. Okay, well, whatever. We're going to 10 on my own trash bin. That's the only, I'm putting a $10 save on my own trash bin. Alright, fine. And we're looking at now miscellaneous lighting. We've got the Stanley Routeabout steel router. That thing's heavy duty. I fired that up. Oh my god, that made me nervous. I was like, oh, I'm gonna chop my finger off. I gotta be careful. We got a solid metal retro toolbox, which is sick. I kind of wanted to keep that, but I've got way too much stuff in my own house, let alone getting more antiques that I am not going to actually use in my own applications, right? We've got the Stanley Handyman retro level tool, antique 7/16 forged heavy duty hook and chain. Me and Patty went back and forth. Patty did deem that good enough to be sold on its own. Evidently, not enough attention. To be fair, I did not argue. I thought he was correct as well. And the Instapure house water filter, baby, was right on that as well. I was like, no one knows what this is, and it's one of those scammy house water filters. But fair enough, $8.89 for all that plumbing gear. You're saving an arm and a leg from the Home Depots, which is wild. What else do we got coming up? We've got the LG microwave going for $23. That is good to see. At least it's finding a good home, and that is hitting our $20 minimum objective. The mini fridge also going for $21. It would be very cool if on pickup day they are going to the same home. I would love to see that. And the LA Lakers, we are going to do a refresh because I do not trust the formatting of Max Sold. So again, I want to remind you, if it is your first time here, make sure you use that auction watch list button. That way you will not miss the items that you are very interested in. Okay? Speaking of watch list, I watch list my own bin. There you go. It's that bin. I do like it. I'm a little possessive over just a garbage bin. Just a garbage bin. Otherwise, we are looking at the high-spec computer tool or tech maintenance kit. That one is an interesting piece. That guy, it's like a cute little tinkery boy. Like, it could be used for me, I see it as computer tools because I do a lot of harvesting of computer parts, but it could be used for like maintenance on smaller pieces of like household appliances, etc. Since the bidding was extended, we are definitely going to have to review the final value of all of these items. Again, given the glitchiness of Max Sold in nature, I want to be able to ensure that I have a good understanding of all the price points here, considering it is quite difficult to actually keep track of. And for you as the buyer, that's what makes me unsatisfied with it. Not a good... If I can't follow it, y'all can't follow it, right? It lags. I don't know which items are extended through the soft close process. It's not enjoyable, personally. And I think that user experience is a heavy hit. So I do want to let everyone know, keep an eye out. If you are a regular attendee, if you are a return buyer, sign up for our e-newsletter list. You will be able to do that when you show up in person at any one of our events, whether it's vending at the park, I'll be at a flea market tomorrow, or at our auction pickup. And we will let you know where our next auctions will be occurring, whether on this platform, other software, or elsewhere. Okay? It's good to see that some of the garden tools and the basics are at least getting some love and appreciation. We have the Silex Vintage Toaster going for $1. That one was a big toss-up. Comic book $1. The tote bag I had. So these lots where you see like different photos, those came out of my eBay store. Some of these actually I had forever. So it's like, those ones are the ones that are like, it pains me to see the dollar amount. Like we're looking at the Eevee, pains me to see the dollar amount. The tote bag pains me to see the dollar amount. But if I'm moving into this at a professional scale, that I have to be concerned about how quickly my product turns over, then realistically, I got to get rid of it, right? It's a waste of time. It's a bloody waste of time. So, a waste of time and space. That's an oversimplification, right? Like, even the Eevee is something tiny, right? But that product, if you're dragging it around for 5 years, you have to make sure that it's worth your time to drag around for 5 years. And if I only have the Eevee listed for $22, then okay, then I plop it in the auction, you know what I mean? LA Lakers metal trash bin, okay, fine. Looks like that's, I might have to buy my own trash bin. I'm fine with that. I'm going to go sell that on market. $30 any day. Ah, that's a bummer. This is a bummer. I'm disappointed. Either way, we'll spend the review time discussing it. Like, I'm always cozy being transparent with our business tactics, and something I've been contemplating, and that I'm okay talking about live on chat without being like too much of an expose of the behind the scenes for me and my business partner Patty. These max sold auctions are still worthwhile. It's a great way for us to liquidate and unload a large amount of product in any given go. However, last few, like this one, this isn't the results I wanted. Like, I'm going for $10, $20 minimums. Like, these 4 Pyrex mugs, realistically, are $5 each in any antique store you go to. These Pyrex mugs, $5 each in any antique store you go to. If I can't even sell them for $0 on this platform, it's not even necessarily of me being like, it's Max Sold's fault. But no, that means just still, am I in the viable spot that is best for my business? I need to adapt tactics. So I've got a couple ideas, but there's definitely something needs to shift either left or right, and I need to identify exactly what that is. And we'll talk about that bit more in the review process. Otherwise, it's good. I am good to. Yep. It is good, and I am glad to see that the classic steel clothesline is getting a bit up to at least $10. There you go. That's the first time I've been able. Shout out to Max Sold. First time I've seen their soft clothes work effectively. That I've actually seen it bounce up. So that's $10 on the clothing lines. Those are OG. That's like all the grandmas in your neighborhood, all the Greek families in your neighborhood. That's the thing that they have like tied to their house in the end of their fence. And they wheel it out and have all their drawers and stuff on it, you know what I mean? The Blue Mountain Pottery is the one that hurts my soul. We've got some really, really, really nice ceramics and glassware in here at the end. And wow, and the posters. I've got these posters that I did not store appropriately because I got them when I was early in my hustle. You'll see them down here as lot number 67. I have struggled to get rid of them. And it is 110% my fault. And in contrast, these Blue Jays Champs papers, I was like, oh, buy them now. I would brought them to flea markets and other markets. I used to sell them for $10 each minimum. And now you're getting all 4 of them for $1? Jeez. This is why you can't have personal attachment to the dollar value of your items. You need to just be like, oh, except the Lakers bucket. We don't talk about the Lakers bucket. Maybe the Lakers bucket will actually be my own bucket. That's what I'm thinking. I might be possessive about it. I do like the Lakers bucket, so. What else are we looking at? So the clothing system and the pulley did get extended. We got the extending on the sealed Brain Quest. If it's Scholastic, if you remember, if you went to school in Canada, that was a Scholastic Book Fair classic piece, undeniable. You saw those every single year, and every teacher had them, pretending like you were going to play with them. You wouldn't. You wouldn't play with them. Nom nom nom. Nom nom. All of this glassware and ceramics, you can see the variety of differences that I set up between these lots, right? The small vases, the 1-2, the 6 mugs, the full glasses, and the plates. I did this to contrast the volume that's needed. And look at how sporadic this is. Look at this data. How are you supposed to understand what people want out of this? That's a very frustrating spread of analytics there to try to understand. This opaque vase, beautiful, beautiful. But, man, we'll do it in review hour. Just, this auction particularly, I was pretty happy with it. And I have to be humble about what I got wrong. This one's a tough one to understand what I got wrong. Marvel canvas prints, I'm there all day. I would have been like, yeah, $20. $10 each. They're good canvas prints. A lot of stencils. Easy. I'm just gonna have to like do massive lots, call it a bloody day. Man, something's gotta change, huh? Classic steel clothesline pulley system. About to go $14. We had some serious competition. That bidding got extended. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. The marriage commemorative mug, which is also good to see because I just put a different marriage commemorative mug. So maybe... bloody hell. Bloody hell, mate. Cutest bird bath in the world, only $2. Melamine wear. So this melamine wear, these children's melamine wear, right? This thing, you go to a vintage shop in the city, you're paying an arm and a leg for that. Like, they're charging you a lot of money for this melamine, and no one wants it. Lady Chic antique razor, gotta go in the garbage. That's one of those ones I was talking about, having the ability to pass away. Like to pass over the items that are no longer useful or you cannot designate to the right spot. That razor, I've dragged around far, 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 far too long. Man. $17 on the pulley system. It's always the most mundane things that you don't expect that generate the competition. We had that vacuum run it up, and now the pulley system is running it up, which is never what I would have estimated. The German cocktail glasses make sense. This Yugoslavia ceramic decanter is truly, truly a beautiful piece. Like, someone's grandmother loved that. We got that out of an old Macedonian woman's house. Like, that comes pre-loved with the story and with a lot of beautiful energy in it. Oh my gosh. What a time, what a life. Sorry, y'all, I'm a little congested. That's why I keep pausing like that. I'm really trying not to do any snoozles or snorts in your microphone, because that's the worst. I'll take a nibble. I'll take a bite of my toast while I'm on cam. But when someone does the snoozle, oh, that's not a fun noise. As a video editor, I've heard that way too many times in my life. Oh my gosh, we're going to have to do a serious team review session. I am very dissatisfied. What the bloody hell, man. It is what it is. It's part of it. You get to see the ups and the downs. This is like you're watching a gambling streamer, right? You're watching someone who's like playing the slots, and you're like, oh, well, is he going to win today? This is not what I anticipated, and that's okay. This is part of the reselling hustle and owning your own business. You have to be able to persevere and learn the lessons and the trends of like what you might have gotten wrong. A lot of this stuff I could sell in other mediums for our $10, $20 base value. So we got the bird bath getting bid up to $4, which is way more reasonable. Way more reasonable. Reasonable is a little bit too much of my pessimistic perspective. That's going to make things sound too negative Nancy. Like $4, that's, you could get that anywhere. You get that brand new, it's way more money. So it's a good steal. Again, anything with this like green background and the red prop. The thing is, that bad boy, it sat around with me for a minute, and uploading these eBay items took me absolutely no time. So that's totally okay. The $20 on the steel clothesline, good to see that the competition was generated there. These draft beer glasses you could use as stock for any business, and I guarantee, as someone who used to order for restaurants myself, those are at minimum $5 a pop. If you're ordering from a restaurant provider, they're probably about $6 a pop. The melamine wear is the one that blows my mind. The melamine wear, it's not my jam. I don't really like the melamine that much. I don't understand the business behind it. But melamine wear like that good gets, you charge a pretty bloody penny for that in person at any antique stall or antique bazaar. So it is wild to me to see that it's only going for nothing, literally. The crystal edge side plates, same dealio. Not a buttload. Like the melamine, serious amount of money in person at an antique vendor. The etched side plates like this, those are $10 a pop. In store, in vending, in person, no problem. Excuse me. We've got the orange and teal bird bath. That was a weird noise. Don't clip that noise. That was like a cough and a burp at the same time. Italian made fan space heater. I thought the space heater, it's in box, a brand new space heater. Where you get a space heater for a buckaroo? That's crazy to me. Okay, sorry, important messages from roommate. Apologies there. Distracted. Yeah, that's I got a funny story about that for after story time. Oh my god, do I have a story time for y'all after? Chat, remind me to give it to you. If any of the regulars are in, which probably not because I've been taking a month off. But if you want, I got a funny story for y'all after. We've got the Shattered Angel Glassware Project pieces. I'm totally wrong. I bet Patty would sell it for more than $10, and I guess fine. And this Pasta Blanche, the juice pitcher, the brandy serving set, perfectly wrapped, great for guests, could fit in any decor house set you have. This is antique lithograph on real cork. What the bloody, oh my gosh. Gonna have an aneurysm, chat. Again, we do it for the ethics. So at the end of the day, as much as this is intensely frustrating because I need to make a living, it's at least the items that are selling are gonna find a good home, and I can rest easy knowing that the true core of this business makes me comfortable at the end of the day. Like these Igloo coolers. Again, I've sold these Igloo coolers in previous auctions. If you're a return buyer, I've sold these Igloo coolers for $10 each, no problem, every single time. And now today, nope, $2. $2. Classic style pendant lamp, same thing. This had a beautiful exterior lamp. Go to Home Depot and find me this lamp. I dare you. You're going to spend over $100 with the glass fixture. And it's going to be such worse material. Like, that is a steal. Same with the genuine Tupperware lot. If you were to go on eBay, a Facebook Marketplace, anywhere. These massive kitchen, the 5 large pots, they're big boys. These are big boys. Oma, Grandma, can make soup for days for an entire family in these pots. You're going to pay, even if you go to Value Village, you go to a thrift store, that's a $30 pot right there. So what are we looking at? We got any more competition coming up? We've got the forks and the knives. About to close at $6 each. Again, those are the ones. Okay, fine. Good home. Good home. Clearly, the people buying the forks and the knives need the forks and the knives. Oh my gosh. Bebe's having an existential crisis here. You're watching me melt down on camera, right? This is not what I enjoy. The calculators. Oh my god, these things have haunted me. This is fun whining. These calculators are fun whining. They were so expensive back in the day. I looked up the MSRP on these. To have these pocket calculators when they were for sale back in the day, so expensive. Like, these were almost like $80 back in the 90s. So that would be $200 for a fucking pocket calculator. Excuse my language. I've tried to sell them at markets. I've had them on eBay for ages. I paid like nothing for them. I think I got them in a lot. I got them in a lot. So if like we were talking about my money in, it's like 25 cents. But these pocket calculators, just nobody wants them. Nobody sees the value, and they're made by Canon, a notable tech company, which is obscene to me. It looks like the massive kitchen lot ran up to $23. The kitchen lots tend to be a guarantee, but as I said, when we're trying to learn the values of like, okay, how can I lot up the items and bunch them up better? Look at this spread. The genuine Tupperware, $3. The mat, just the pots and the roasters, $23. But the big pots, $1. The data gathering on this is intense, because then I would even argue that if I put those pots and roasters with the large pots, it's going to go for $1. You kind of have to separate them. But then what do you do with the large pots? Like, I guess we have to start creating scrap piles and go to the scrapper? Maybe? It's a tough freaking call, because that's a tricky little ditty right there, you know? Okay, no emergencies, no emergencies. Roommate text. Just had to make sure. Man. Instruction manual, I was pushing it. We have some photography buyers in our return customers, so I was like, let me try these King Cobra 3-wood head. I was like, same thing. That's a test that's on me. I can accept the L there. These Greek books, big L in my own picking skills. I can't sell books at all, and it's like the most disappointing trend. Like these books, because we do it all ethically. I want the books to not have to go in the garbage. I would love to recycle them, but half the recycling places don't actually recycle them. And they are kind of rare. Like, they're religious texts written in Greek, in legit Greek alphabet, right? Like, look at that. Right? Like, that's pretty, it's pretty cool. It's pretty rare. I've met a couple Greek people through our buying process, so I was like, these will rehome fine, even if it's $1 a book. If there's 12 books, that's $12. No one even wants to pay anything for a book, which is like a disappointing state of our culture. Books are probably what I feel the utmost guilt about with our state we're in as a society and as a reseller. Because as I always keep returning to, this ethical nature of it is very important to both me and my business partner. And these books, I just can't seem to, I need to find a purpose for these books just because there's no resale value, but I also don't want to just get rid of them all. There's got to be, like, I can't also give them to a library. Doesn't care. Nobody cares anymore. I feel like I'm the only one that cares about all these books that I just got to make disappear into the ether. That is a dump, most likely, that the aliens will find 5,000 years in the future because there's so much plastic and methane in it. And oils. And now, I'm not hurt, you're hurt, okay? That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, so much stuff just to throw out. It is intense. I am going to have a fun time on Sunday. Shouts out to Aleem, my homeboy, who's going to come out and help out with the auction pickup process. So if you come visit me in person, I will have one of my dear good friends out there with me. Since Patty won't be in attendance. Which I'm not too upset about. I can handle it all on my own. For me, it's about the customer service experience for you buyers coming to pick up. Because if I got to go rummage through a bunch of crap in the back for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, you got to have someone, just at least a friendly face there. It's better to be like, hey, what's your thing? What are you here for? You don't even have to be the best customer service representative, just to have someone there. Shouts to TPZ. I appreciate you. TPZ, been following since day one. Thank you for the lurk emojis. Nice to see you. These kick bots that are saying tired of streaming to zero. Oh my god. Talk about hurting my feelings, dog. We have swivel casters, the acrylic drawer handles, the casters. Again, like the casters were something that did well for us in the past. We've sold those caster lots for the minimum value. These candles we have 2 times over. I haven't been able to sell the candles. We've got to get rid of the candles unless someone that we know wants them. Which I might take a few, I guess. I don't like scented candles. Untested classes CD and cassette system. Like this pleather thing that's about to go. We got 1 minute left, lot 151, the pleather footrest. Was my least. I almost didn't put it in. I almost gave up on it. And it's one of the higher items in this auction. So the variety, like the unpredictability of this is intense in how it's really a day-to-day. And it seems like the more you're on max sold, it's really not a collector's market. It's a market full of people looking to get the best deals. I'm scrolling to the end right now because we had some more rare items at the end here. Like all these plates, bro. These plates even on eBay. Get a lick off me, man. Buy the plates for $1. You can flip them, no effing problem. Oh my gosh. I was just so wrong this time. This golden floral vase is beautiful. And the bubble glass goes for hundreds of dollars. Chat, it's okay. I'm really not that defeated. There's always positive things to be learned about it. It's all in the review, and we'll go through. Here you go. We got the pleather bench, but getting bid up to $10. It looks like people want some matching pleather storage for their household. $10.50. We got the Hitchcock style wicker bench. 9 buckaroos. The salmon office folder. My gosh, I'm gonna have to spend like almost a whole evening trying to evaluate the lessons learned from this auction process. This vintage floral ottoman, I've wanted it gone so bad. Now Patty's not gonna let me throw that one away because it didn't sell. Patty's gonna want that one so bad, and I don't want it. No. It's great quality, great condition. Actually, very cozy, very comfortable. It takes up a lot of space in the warehouse. It takes up a lot of real estate that I could be prepping other auctions with. The other auctions that are gonna fail. I tease, truly tease. But I can't believe that. Yeah, that didn't go in the salmon office file folder cabinet. Very sick as well. I was hesitant because they're like it's a file folder cabinet, right? You don't really have many purposes for it nowadays. So it is difficult to resale because even an old head, even a boomer, per se, the boomers, what are they going to do with a file folder cabinet, you know? This enamel sink, double L on me and Patty, double L on the ceramic sink. We were both like, yeah, that's a beautiful sink. We're going to take it, sell. Someone's going to put it in their cottage. No, no one wants the sink. Why not? It's almost like the pattern I'm taking here is it needs to be less specific items. Stuff that sells well is like wall-mounted solid wood unit, bench. Not cute, vintage, quirky floral ottoman. Or like the antique stuff. It's very intriguing. Like maybe the max sold just also has to be the boring stuff. This desk, my buddy, the business partner, Central Tech High School. This was pulled out of a high school. Hundreds of kids, thousands of kids. Let me correct that so it doesn't sound as creepy. Thousands of students, thousands of people put their energy into that desk, man. That's like a piece of history from the city. Not even for $0 does anyone want it. And the storage lockers too. People be fighting over these for some, like for bars and retail spaces. Oh, bugger, man. We gotta figure out. I'm rattled, chat.
Chat, I'm rattled. Chat, I'm rattled. We need new tactics. New tactics alert.
Oh my gosh. Time to do a quick 1-2 and pivot, right? The PMLS, this guy was interesting. We're looking at this 4-pin mini XLR lavalier mic. I didn't know mini XLR existed until this piece came across. Like, again, I got it in another lot. It's not even loading. This is why this max sold drives me up the wall. You can't even load. It's not loading for a buyer. But so it's got, as you can see, like right here, kind of, not so well. In this picture right here, they got the same prongs as like an XLR cable. I have one other piece of equipment that has mini XLR on it, which is insane. I just didn't know it existed. I also don't see the benefit of it. That would be a fun Google for later, is like the benefits of using mini XLR. Because if you can put a mini XLR cable on it, you may as well just put a USB cable on it. So maybe it was just made before that transition of USBs being that accessible. And apologies, guys, I hit the wrong button. Because you can't refresh the page on Max Sold, or else it all goes back to most bids. Oh man, we're gonna have to call this. I'm gonna have to change the title on this to Salty Auction Stream, eh? I'm gonna have to. Sabalba, fine. I'm gonna make Sabalba into something cool then. I love Sabalba. If no one wants Sabalba, I'm gonna stick them on probably not my bedpost because that will scare away potential partners. But maybe a stair rail post. That sounds better. Bedpost would have been fucking hilarious. You trying to court a potential partner, and they come in and they've just got Sabalba looking at them. These collector's plates and this bubble glass, though, like maybe the evaluation is like me and Patty tried out this format where we set everything up in a specific order. So if you watch it through the closing soon, like right now you can see that there's a specific pattern. We're going like smalls. Right now, I just went through art and media and tech, right? And then we go into smalls and miscellaneous, and then jewelry, right? And then extras and ceramics, and then now we're into the exclusives. And maybe something about maybe putting these decanters and stuff at the end isn't a good call. I don't know, but we could have put that in one of our other vending spaces and sold those decanters for a ton of money otherwise. Yeah, I'm not going to let it make me feel like a failure, but there's something that needs to change here. I never would have guessed that these benches would have gone for so frickin' much, though. Like, the citrus juicer is sold. I've sold so many of these now, and they're just so dull to me. The people are willing to consistently spend the money. Leave that Labubu alone. Hey, bro, hey. No, I'm just upset about the Max Sold platform at the moment. It's a little frustrated at, the patterns are difficult to read. Shouts to Raza in the chat. Long-time collaborator. Long-time hater. Long-term viewer. Appreciate his presence always. It's been a little slow in the chat today, guys, but I want to remind you that's because I just took like a month off to be able to focus on my business, which clearly didn't bloody work. It did actually. I got a lot of things sorted out. Moved out my storage locker. We're all in the same space. I'm posting the eBay on a daily basis. But then shipping can't ship to the U.S. anymore. So I'm just having a God. I was going to say, I got stuck between gosh darn and golly gee time. Don't lie, this shit worked. Yeah, it did. I'm getting self-employment, just like, here's the one, here's the two. Just getting fucking, I'm getting up every time. I'm out here like Rocky. I'm like out here like Creed. I get up. But boy, it's getting hard to get up. Pause. Big pause. We got the big box of brooches. $1 is fine. It was going to go in the garbage otherwise. Not garbage, repurposed. Probably donation, actually. Equity vintage clock. Another one that's hard to read because we've sold the vintage clocks that are not working previously. Again, for way more money. So to see it only go for $1, is it just like we just don't have the clock guy this time? Like, what's going on in this case sample? And the other kitchen lots, right? The other kitchen lots sold for a whole bunch. This one, $5.45. And $18 on the miscellaneous jewelry. This one I threw together. This was just junk. So maybe I just need to junk things together. Like, $18 is a good price, though. I'm very glad for the buyers to see this competition. But as I said, like, right, we're trying to learn data from this. $18 for literal junk and knickknacks. Beautiful brooch. Beautiful ring. Beautiful earring. Not beautiful, but cool belt buckles, right? These all 4 of these lots don't add up to the same value as this lot that is just mixed and matched all the extras that I had left over. Just all the extras. So do I just do miscellaneous? We just do miscellaneous lots? Like, I'm really starting to think that might be the thing. If we do max sold, we just do a smaller lot amount, large amount of shit. But that's a big risk. That's like really potentially could F us. I may ask. Maybe I just got the genius idea. Maybe I take that risk first. I got big lots of stuff, and maybe I'll just do big lots. I'll do like 15, 30 lots and just see what happens. It took Trump a few decades to become president. If he can achieve greatness, you can too. Talk about scaring away my chatters, bro. No one's going to want to talk. You made it political right away. You got too much Twitter brain, bro. Way too Twitter brained. Holy crap, bro. Farts. To the chat, Raza. He said his mom went through his replies. Great concept. Filmed like ass. Get better lighting. But that's a TikTok series you're gonna get famous for right there. Or put it on straight to Twitter. I know. 90s Tonka. Sealed in the box. $3. These porcelain figures. Beautiful. I thought they were worth separating. They're hand-painted, handmade. They're antique. I was sitting there, I was like, oh, I don't need to separate. I'll put them separate. It's going to be fine. Because even someone our age would want them. But no, I guess I just got to put all the porcelain together and be like, here, big fucking 20 pieces of porcelain. 20 plates. I guess I got to simplify everything. I think that's what I'm going to do for this next auction that I have set up for you. I'm going to talk to my business partner, and I think that'll be my last test. And then otherwise, we got to fully switch up our tactics. But I think maybe it will just be like, yeah, here, half of this table, one lot. Yeah, the Tonka ones were going. You're looking at the wrong ones. They're not more than 100, but these Tonkas with 1 minute left go for a lot more than $6. That's why I had them as an individual lot. Now, to be fair, not hundreds, but a lot more than $6. Bloody hell. This auction was such a tough read. Okay, the brass bar cart, good. It's beautiful. That one was just like my ego hurt a little bit. We've got some competition on the brass bar cart that ran up to $31. None of these plates, same thing. All of these plates, these souvenir plates, these Johnson Bros Woodcock plates. This is a 1974 plate from the opening of the Toronto Zoo for $3. $3. All of these were the highlight items. We put them at the end for a reason, including this Empoli glass. Paying $15 for the worst vase of the bunch. For the worst vase of the bunch. It's good. It's hand blown as well. It is beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm just getting enthusiastic because I didn't select this as the highlight. This was just coincidentally next to the highlights. And then I was like, these are the highlights. These are the highlights. And I was just 100% wrong. Man, did I got a lot wrong this time. $37 on the beautiful brass bar cart with smoky glass. Good to see, chat. I like to see the competition starting. Very Peachy Tea Kettle is the one that's drawing up the competition with $29. It's the one that I had everyone comment on. I knew it stood out, but it's another one of like, you've got handmade glass from Italy, that is 80 years old. That can't even sell for more than $10. And then someone wants a teapot because, oh, cute peach. Cute peach. I want cute peach. That's... I'm having an aneurysm today, chat. Italy! Italy! It's from Italy! The fact that you're able to sell the handmade stuff at those prices is wild. I know. The handmade stuff, I guess I'm going to have to do a whole lot. I've got more of it coming in, so I'm just going to do a big... That'll be my test. I've got these big lots coming in. I'm going to fucking roll the dice. I'm going to do big... Just big. Put all those porcelain figures together and be like, just big porcelain lot. See if that works. These plates, maybe these plates are massive souvenir plate lots. Do a sale for just handmade stuff. But then that's like, it encourages the hoarding. We've got 3 houses coming in right now, right? So chat, sounds good. I definitely don't have many buyers left because there ain't much competition at the end of my auction. I'm gonna internally combust. Don't worry, guys. This is all said in sarcasm. I am genuinely that frustrated, but I'm not actually in like crash out mode. Big boy sale. Yeah, that's the thing. I've got a market this weekend. We're going to be at the flea market this weekend. We have the auction pickup for Sunday for this auction, which clearly won't be that crazy. A lot of the stuff didn't sell, so I'm going to get rid of most of it. I'm going to do a big Value Village run. Oh yeah, and it's always trial and error. And again, half of it, like a third of this auction was already the cycle through my eBay, which is a good long-term objective of this business, right? If it sits in my eBay for a while, then poop and get it out of here. It goes onto the auction list. But when we do our review after this auction is closed, we'll try to garner the information of the lessons learned here. But we did end up in a very tricky position, because some of this is hard to tell. It's hard to read. Like, this glassware bid on early in the auction system, and then just no competition came in. And then the cute kettle just ran it up. These VHSs, they're going donation. I've tried to sell these so many times in so many formats. I think just like everybody's conservative grandpa bought World War II in color on VHS, so they already have it. And so the guy who's the World War II VHS collector already has it in his collection. No problem on the BRB. Ultra Pack by Kiwi. Yeah, this is... Chat, I'm glad everyone tuned in. Thank you everyone who did drop by for this. If it's your first time, I want to let you know we do this on a monthly basis. So this is something like we're trying to create a interactive experience for the auction close process. Because otherwise it can be a bit lonely. You end up just sitting here watching these numbers count down. You got no one to hang out with. This way you can come hang out with us in the chat, drop some opinions, ask some questions, right? Also, if you're offline when I come back, I got to update you on some deets. I will not be offline. I may take a 2-second BRB. I think. We shall see. That rhymed. Just to put away these plates, we'll put away these platas when it is done. And then I will review the items on stream. And then then I'll call it, and I have to get back to streaming consistently, which means I will be streaming tomorrow evening, and I will have to be streaming Sunday evening now, because I need to create the other supplemental part of this business because this clearly isn't fucking working. Oh, bloody murder, man. Max Sold, you could have at least rigged it for me. Max Sold. Hey, Stoned, nice to see ya. Just don't mind me just having an existential crisis here. So we're just on the newer light. I'm surprised that got run up. The UI on this system doesn't even refresh things. It drives me up the wall. That's the only thing that I'm making fun of Max Sold. That's the part, just the UI on Max Sold. Oh, when I do the Acorn Auctions Hamilton stream, you do see a distinct difference. The smoothness of the user interface, uncomparable, uncomparable if we're being full anglaise with them. 42 seconds left. Is this kettle going to get more competition? See that, because right now we're watching this, right? This thing just turned red. It's going to get, if it gets bit up, there's no visual prompt on the screen for you to be able to be aware of it, right? So that's why it's important to watch list the items when you're participating on Max Sold versus you're doing high bid. You're ding, ding, ding. It's very, appeals to your lizard brain, appeals to your monkey brain, right? Let's see, anyone want to participate? Anyone want to jump in? We got some peachy competition here. Are the peaches going to go? Are they going to fall as they may? These apples? How do you like those apples? How do you like those peaches? At $35? $35, how do you like those peaches? And we are closed. $35 for some peaches. That's it. All the items closed. Got my ass kickaroo today. But hey. It's all good. It's all good. It is what it is. Appreciate everyone in the chat for attending. I'm not going to run away just yet. We are going to do a little review process as always. Just double checking my windows since... Yo, I buggered it up today, bro. Good thing I do checks before I go launch stream. I was like, these things usually start to launch at 8 p.m. So I was like, I went out for a walk at 6:50 because I like to get some fresh air. And I like to start an hour before the auction starts. Went out for a walk. I was like, oh yeah, it's good. Let me just double check. You know, I'll check all my stream links on my phone because I'm manic like that. May the peaches fall as they may. That's I went for a walk because I like to double check things as I go and then get some fresh air. So then, because I have to be. This is high entertaining. I'm not this energy all day every day, right? It's like, let me go for a walk. I'm gonna take a breather. Look at my phone. I'm like, 7:15. It was 6:55. I was like, oh my god. And I had to like, hey guys, I'm doing the street. Blah, blah, blah. Let the peaches fall as they may. Shout out to the viewer that sent that in. I got that as a direct text comment about the peach. We had some peach battles, I'll tell you what. Like, I don't... It is freaking awesome. See, like, the degree to the... I'm rattled about how not well this auction went, right? Because Patty isn't going to come Sunday anyways. Patty had family obligations because he's a good father. Patty has a newborn. That's my business partner. With the result of the auction, it's kind of the better financial choice that he doesn't come. You know, he didn't make enough money to pay for both of us to be there. I had to call in a friend favor, which I didn't want to call in either. Dog. Yeah, I'm not having an internal combustion moment. I'm just really my very focused business brain is there's got to be a solution. There's always a way out, right? It's one of the ways I've been able to manage like self-employment and stuff like that. You could be in the most high anxiety scenario possible, and there will always be a solution. It might take a day or two of you mulling it over and talking to a bunch of people and getting different perspectives, but there will always be a solution, right? And I'm in one of those modes of like, I gotta see the light in the tunnel right now. There's something. I think it's going to have to be doing those large bundle lots, because then that also saves our time on the max sold, and we can just like 1 week, one auction, just like all the porcelain, all the photography. And then that gives me on a weekly auction. That gets me on a weekend pickup on a regular basis. It's less lots to deal with. And then we build up to a premium one as well. But something's gotta change. Because if we do that, it has to be our marketing too. I have to switch my marketing tactics in some capacity as well. I don't know, chat. I'm going to take just 5 minutes of BRB. We're going to put me on the BRB screen. We are going to review the items. Okay? I want to review the dollar amounts that they went for. Again, since I bungled it up, since I was the one that didn't appear on time, I want to come back. I want to review what sold for the highest ticket amount, and we'll work our way back from there to see what drew the most attention and why. All right? Otherwise, just give me 2 minutes, 5 maximum. We won't be any longer than 8:15. Be back in just a minute. We'll pump up the music for you. We got the chill vibes produced by I Am Infinite. We'll do a review of the items, and we're going to sit here, and you're going to be able to watch me manically try to figure out how to pivot at this business scenario that clearly the tactics need to shift. But I already have the idea. Yeah, because I already have the idea. I already have like a small amount of items shot for the next one, and then if I just do the big lots beside it, then you can see the difference, right? Stop it. Stop. I'll be back. All right, chat. We back. We back with another banger. I'll go to the main scene so I don't blind your eyes with the white screen. All right. We back. We back. I'm going to plug in my phone, and we're not going to have an existential crisis live on stream. I just, like when I was talking to my business partner today, part of doing business in a savvy manner is being realistic with yourself when certain tactics aren't working, right? So, if you've been tuned in this entire time, gentle folks, ladies, gentlemen, humans of all kinds, all creeds, all denominations, the lessons I've learned through participating in so many wacky schemes throughout my lifetime is like healthy business means being able to be realistic with yourself. I should probably stop the stream bot promoting the auction, eh? There you go. Turn it off. Healthy business is being able to pause, reflect, and evaluate when your tactics aren't working, right? The easiest example for me to always use is the restaurant industry because I grew up in it. I existed in it. I'm only in my early 30s. I've spent over a decade in the restaurant industry, right? So, let's say you got your menu. You got your staples. You got your classics. You're going to make a pasta. But the pasta ain't fucking selling. Ain't nobody buying your pasta, dog. Rather than keep selling more pasta, it could be the packaging, could be the way you're selling the pasta. It could be your recipes. It could be the ambiance of your restaurant. But your pasta ain't fucking selling. So rather than just continuing to do things the exact same way, you have to have the wherewithal to be able to pause, breathe, reflect, and evaluate what part of that sales tactics that you are implementing is not functional, right? And that is exactly where I am at right now, right? So this is why it's so reflective, because I don't have this answer yet, right? You are watching in real time a very eclectic person try to resolve what is going wrong, right? Why ain't my pasta selling? Brez. Brez, why ain't my pasta selling, Brez? So I've been watching too many Australian YouTubers, I guess. Either way, something in this tactic list has to switch. I am, shouts out to Max Soul. They've been like the direct relations we have with them. They've been nothing but kind. Hi Afro, bye Afro. Thank you for pulling the classic. Have a fantastic stream, bro. We'll chat soon. Yes. I'll get to your messages probably tomorrow morning. After this experience that I went through this evening, I gotta take a fucking breather. I found this Aussie guy in skate. That's pretty funny. I love Aussie humor, so I end up watching too many Aussie YouTubers. When I was like heavy in podcast world, I would like only listen to Australians. Actually, when I had my podcast, the previous, like, a major component of our audience, almost like 40% of my listeners were Australian. Their sense of sarcasm is similar to like the Canadian sense of humor. But shouts to Afro, yeah, thank you very much, thank you. Yeah, they're like deadpan sarcasm is like a perfect in-between of like American humor and British humor. They're like, British sarcasm comes off so dry, it seems boring sometimes. I find it entertaining, but I do understand the critiques of it. And then you go to like Aussie. Aussie is like an in-between of American and thing. Like two of my favorite TV shows are Australian. One is called Rake. and it's about a lawyer with a cocaine addiction. He's a barrister in New South Wales, so he also has to wear the dumb wig, because Australia and so one of the states you still have to wear the dumb wigs and the stupid outfit. So he's like a barrister with a cocaine addiction and a sex addiction. And he goes through these like series of like goofy tries. It's like Suits but cocaine, and it's so much better with Aussie humor. It's A+. And then they have my other one is I always want to call it Mr. Nobody, but I think that's wrong. Mr. Nobody, is that it? Mr. Nobody? No, that's the other one. Aussie show Mr. In Between. Mr. In Between. What's news, bruv? For stoned, I would highly recommend that one. Mr. In Between. Very good TV show. It's on Disney Plus. It's on a couple. Yeah, the Mr. In Between A+ TV show. Yeah, that's what I figured. I really, I don't know if I'd put it in like top 5 grades, but it's really, 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 really good. It's like basic good intro beginner's lesson to like how to film a TV show with a low budget and still have very compelling storylines. And then even then with the practical effects, the realism of the gunfights. It's the one where like that, the components of that, I'm talking about too much about TV, so I'll stop and go back to my reselling. But the Mr. In Between, the realism of the gunfights is highly, I would love it if like other action shows had the realism of the gunfights be like that. Like when it gets into it's like, it's super realist. It's not this big bang, bang, bang. It's tactical in the way that it happens in real life, and it happens in 2 minutes and it's done. It's not this big dramatic event when you have to do something like that. His buddy with the blonde hair is hilarious, but then his buddy with the blonde hair is great character writing, because they set him up of like, oh, why does he help this asshole? You spend like half the show like he does so much for this fucking prick, and then he has the episode where when he asks him for help without doing too much spoilers, he asks him for help with a certain situation with the kid. And he's there, and he starts fucking shit up. Like, he's totally on the ball, doesn't question anything, and, like, puts his life on the line. And it was like, it's such good character writing that you didn't have to give this cheesy, you didn't have this big redemption arc, and, oh, look at him. It was just this, like, subtle, well-written into the story. This whole time you're watching, you're like, why does he help this guy out? What does he do for him? And then, just like real life, not like TV, like real life. It's because when he calls him and he says he needs him, he was there for him, right? And you're like, oh, it's so interesting. I digress. Back to business lessons. Sorry if I just blinded you with the white screen. We're going to go through the top selling items here right now. Kind of evaluate what sold for the most. And then I'm going to ramble about the tactics. The tactics I need to ramble about, I need to think about it. I'm gonna have to bounce some ideas off my business partner while we're doing stuff. But something has to change. I'm not full panic mode, but hopefully they do a next season. I'm hoping that they do because they bought it from Disney, but the thing is that Mr. In Between, that thing I love, that was, he made one movie with the same character and that TV show. Won a buttload of awards for the TV show, and clearly Disney bought it, right? But he's got no other record. The guy who directs it and wrote it is the main guy, like the actor. Like the guy who's doing the acting is the guy who directed it and wrote it. And he doesn't really do anything else at all. Does nothing. All the other guys do stuff. If you want to look up the other actors, they are notable. He's the only one that, like, he made the show, he did it. And if you watch any interviews with all the other actors that were in it about it, they're like, it was one of the best ones I was ever on. And this guy's just like a weird anomaly. Just made this badass short film about this hitman and then made this really cool, deep, well-written TV show with, like, no money and played the main character. Yeah. It's like a filmmaker's dream, you know? And then just he's not getting picked up by like the big boys because he didn't do anything else. If you look up the main actor of Mr. In Between, yeah, he's the main actor, he's the director, he's the writer, and like the only other thing he's acted in was the short film that was the reason that the short film was called The Magician, and it just followed him on more of like a day in the life basis. Okay, so in terms of sales items, you got me excited. Not enough people know about that television show, and it's fantastic. I would also again recommend Rake, like spelt like the tool rake, and it's about a cocaine addicted lawyer, and it's fantastic. But we have Vacuum again. Vacuum, astonishing. It's crazy. As I'm trying to reevaluate these other things, a lot of the times I'd pass over a vacuum like that. So is this a one-time lesson, or is this a future lesson? That okay, gotta get all the vacuums. I don't think so. I think this is a luck thing, but the vacuum is disappointing in that capacity because it was just in my way as I was getting ready for this auction. I just had a vacuum in my way, and I knew we had multiples, so I'm like, you know what? It's going in. It was impulse. Brass card we took with intention. Brass card, good. Feel confident in that. That one I don't feel like I need a big lesson on. Very peachy tea kettle, kind of good instinct. I knew it was cute. It's very frustrating when you contrast it with the rest of this auction. All the other things that I thought just had curb appeal just because they were pretty. Totally bloody wrong about. Very peachy tea kettle. I knew it would be cute. I knew it would sell well, but I didn't think it would be one of the top sellers, which I think just has a worse implication for the rest of the sell-through rates. Pleather bench, fair. That's what I would expect out of that. I'm happy with that. The garden tool lots. The tool lots seem to be successful, and we just need to hit them up in like a consistent and rhythmic pattern. So I thought I heard the door. Hold on, I think the cats are misbehaving. Okay, we're good. We're good. I thought the cats were getting into a tussle. We've got the Japanese stoneware plates kind of play into my idea here where we have to do bulk. The roasting pots, when you contrast them to my other kitchen lots, those are the tricky ones. That's when you contrast them to my other kitchen lots, I'm like, bugger. Those are good and they go together. I was the one that actually brought the pots in with the roasters. Patty wanted to separate the roasters, so we should put them as a bundle. But maybe it's the shininess and the newness of them. That's a tough one to evaluate. The microwave, good. That's what I expect from it. The steel clothesline, same thing. That's good as well. Zeppelin modern dining chair. Now the thing is that the Zeppelin modern dining chair is a very cool piece over here on the left-hand side of the screen. If you went to a fancy antique store, another one of those would be worth a ton more money. So $21 is kind of disappointing for it. But again, we aim for the $20 minimum. If it's going into the auction, that's just what we hope for, so it's acceptable. Mini fridge, same, makes sense. This miscellaneous jewelry lot, though, I don't know what's different about it. This was the junk one. This is, I threw together a baggie of everything extra I had left over from a jewelry box that I had already picked and separated. And there's cool stuff in here. But look at that. That's literally the baggie. That's the end product. I had that bag. I had a dime bag full of leftover jewelry. And that one sold better than all the individual jewelry pieces. So I have to ponder it. I'm going to have to give myself some Zen time this weekend. And then I think that's just the fucking move, man. Maybe that will be Sunday stream. We're gonna brainstorm business tactics together. Man, that miscellaneous jewelry lot makes my thoughts even more miscellaneous. We got the vintage Stanley router. Again, should be more, but fair. Still hits the minimum. That one I feel valid in. Same with the German cocktail glasses. A full box of cocktail glasses. They're like new. They're pretty old, but given the stamp, that doesn't really validate its value points, so... I noticed Maxwell doesn't hyperlink the hyperlinks anymore. I guess we got too witty with them. Yeah. So let me double check when I go to the pages. Let me see. It was hyperlinked before, wasn't it? Let's go to one of the ones further back. Click on any one of the items. Okay, no, it wasn't hyperlinked. All right. I can accept this. The Pyrex, big L. Big L on the Pyrex. Massive L on the Pyrex. We could have sold that on eBay or at a market any day for quadruple that value, even more. The LA Lakers been a fought over. The IKEA I would still sell alone. That's just a low value though. Nita, same answer. This Blue Mountain pottery vase. What was wrong? That button is in my photograph. I don't think it's my photograph. Did I do my description bad? Let's try it. So this Blue Mountain pottery jug. Now, granted, pottery, vases, not my specialty, not my shtick. But people clamber over these. Although personally, it is a respect to those people who are passionate about that hustle. It's not my cup of tea. Like, I don't really get it. I don't get why it has such desire, but it looks like all ceramics are having a tough time right now, huh? $9. The photos are good. Don't forget, made in Canada. Cute little details for color. First one I've seen stamped is Blue Mountain, immaculate condition piece, which speaks to craftsmanship of this iconic pottery brand. Yeah, it sounds like it's written by AI. I didn't fuck up the description. The photos are good. You know what? I'm going to have to ask my buyers on pickup day. I think I'm going to have to be honest with my buyers on pickup day to evaluate these different business tactics, and I'm going to have to be like, what do you think? Would you buy more lots if they were larger bundles? Like, what is your barrier to purchasing an item? Is it just because it's like not the exact thing you wanted? Interesting. ADHD note for Stoned. I watched Stoned. I also watched the new Dexter season. Watched the new Dexter season. Again, wouldn't say it's the best TV ever, but I enjoyed it. The vintage style juicer. The thing is, with my new tactics, if I am going to do larger bundles, I wouldn't set that aside in my future bundles. Oh, how is that? The Dexter remake, the Dexter new series, pretty good. Almost off-putting how many celebrities were in it. But the main actor, the Michael C. Hall, he's just undefeated. He delivers the character just as good. And his kid, it's kind of like not the best actor. I would say the kid is the weak point. But I enjoy the plot line. It's a little bit more glamorous for a Dexter. Just considering the actors and the high budget and how he finds the people that he's killing in this one. But it's I liked it. The dynamic of him and his son, and the fact that it fully acknowledges what has already happened, rather than just being a new one-off with the same character, is enjoyable. like every decision he's making in this new one is very much impacted by his slip-ups in the past. So I like that a lot. And it's just also funny because Dexter's such a period piece. Like the original Dexter is such a period piece of like burner phones and like beginner cell phones and no video cameras. And then now in the modern Dexter and the reboot now, he's a Uber driver. An Uber driver in New York, which of course, because that's spooky and it's kind of realistic and creepy. I think the best way for him to get information on people, and the best way for him to not get bothered by the police about where he's going all the time, is he becomes an Uber driver. It's like, oh shit, creepy. Yeah. Yeah, new fear unlocked. For real. That was exactly. But because he was trying to. There was a. It doesn't spoil it too much, but there was a serial killer killing Uber drivers. So then Dexter went to find him, and then in his research of finding him, he was like, oh, this is exactly. I need to be an Uber driver. But that was. Which is also good. He's human. It was a human. It wasn't just like this ingenious, he's in his new spot. It was because he went on this hunt, did this research. He's like, oh, yeah, should be Uber driver. That's just... Window insulation makes sense. I would still do that set. The shelving unit, just the ticket values are too low on these items. Started One Piece again. I just got past 400 episodes. I still have to watch Wano on, which I'm fine with spoilers. I've already caught up on all the details. But I've watched a bit of Egghead, but I took... I think my mistake was I didn't skip any of the filler in Dressrosa. And although I love Dressrosa, it was a fun story. It was way too long and it really burnt me out. When I was done Whole Cake Island arc, I was like, I'm gassed. I need to take like half a year off of One Piece before I watch it again. Oh, so you're not at that part yet. That's also a good... That arc, that was... Yeah, that whole section of like Impel Down, the Marineford arc, and then him after, and then Punk Hazard. All fantastic. All fantastic. The arc where they try to save Robin. That one made me genuinely emotional. That scene that there's going to be like when they do the live action for him saying Robin wants to like say that she's not S word and she's like that she wants to live. That shit hits me. I teared up. 200 episodes of trying to save her just to say don't save me was not my cup of tea. The end was lit though. But you're right. Yeah, that what is it? Water 7 arc. The Water 7 arc was another one of those things, though, that it was like where the genius of the writer. I was really bored of the Water 7 arc as well. But the CP9, all the characters and everything really set up the rest of the story. Like, Water 7 allowed for you to see the world as, like, the Celestial Dragons. And that there's a fucking CIA in this One Piece world, right? So it was one of those, like, It was tough. It wasn't exactly the best to watch, but then after you've watched it and seen where the story goes, you're like, oh, all that shit with Robin and Water 7, like, you kind of needed that for it to make sense. Because otherwise, if that didn't happen, you would have gone all the way down to Impel Down when Ace gets murked, and you would have been like, oh, yeah, there's a CIA now, I guess. But he did it right at the beginning so that you were already primed for when it becomes a big thing later. For me, I didn't like the in-between when they met Brooke. I didn't like the drag of the zombie one. The zombie one. with Gecko Moria, where they meet fucking the musician. When they meet the musician at I always mix it up with Punk Hazard. That's why. Thriller Bark. There's good moments, same as the Robin one. There's good moments. But I'm just watching all the filler episodes, the pervy filler episodes and stuff, and I'm like, I don't like this. Just don't like it. Some of them get better, like the Impel Down, the Marine Ford, and then after that, when they're all like getting ready to go back, way shorter. And then if you said you watched it before, the Dressrosa with the infamous Doflamingo, Don Quixote. Holy shit, man. Watch a guide of what you can skip. It was too long. The character, it wasn't even the worst written. It's not like terrible. It just spends, I think it's over 130 episodes there or something like that. I was just like, okay, I get it. They do Doflamingo so good. It gives you the background for a lot. It gives you the background for like so much shit. And it's how he gets the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. So I get why it's so important. But you're like, oh my God, just go to the next place. Get out of here. I've just successfully talked about One Piece for 15 minutes. In the glassware, this Italian glassware, like, holy shit, maybe that's like, I'm gonna punch a wall, dog, because my business partner has an in-person booth at a market. Typically what we put in there is the stuff that's like low value, trinkety stuff that we struggle to sell. Is this where we put the $100 glass vase? But then there's a high theft issue at that store. So if we put a vase that is clearly like $100 plus, it's gonna get stolen. It will get stolen because you could put that in your coat pocket, no problem. So that's also a ridiculous call. But if it's only getting $5, it's a massive fucking waste. Excuse my language. So I really think, like, my two tactics, I think it's got to be, we have to go high bid for premium. We have to try out the high bid software for premium, build a consistent audience there. And then max sold, we should run them and do just bunches of stuff, like the tools, just do big lots. And the medium furniture that we're seeing. So I think that's what I'm going to do and take as my lesson. Like that Stanley tool we got the Stanley thing here at the bottom. I'd sell that on eBay all day for $20. This retro level. It's an antique level. So like your modern levels that you use for your hardware. It's definitely a weird gambit. This Starburst vase, it was one of the things with the first bids, and then it didn't get bid up. The Igloo coolers trip me up. I've been able to sell those so consistently. People stealing from your guys' shop. We have... I don't like them, but I'll try to keep my language still kosher since Patty does business with them. Bazaar Toronto at 306 College Street, the place that I got kicked out of. Patty sells a booth there, and it's where we sell a lot of the trinkety stuff, like these etched side plates. I thought it was a good enough lot, but instead, like these little side plates that we have pulled up now, you put them in there, and you put them in there for $5 a pop, and just get rid of them, right? So that's why we still have it, but they steal there a lot. There's a lot of theft, and they do nothing about it. They don't reimburse you. They do nothing, literally nothing. The poor staff members, like some early 20s, may as well be teenagers, cashing out customers are supposed to also watch the camera and be security guards, which is just utterly ridiculous. And they don't even have the cameras displayed anywhere in the store. My biggest rant for business purposes is if people can't see they're on camera, then they may as well not be on camera. Especially if you have no enforcement policies, right? If you're not going to do anything if the person steals, then if they don't see they're on camera, then they don't even give a shit. At least having the screen like a convenience store face, like that's why it's like literally the reason that when you walk in a convenience store, they show you the display of all the camera feeds. Because then anyone who's a little too wuss, you knock down your theft rate by like 70%. Because anyone who's not committed goes, oh, they have cameras, I won't do it. The professionals or the dailies, they'll still do their thing. You'll still have loss. But if some people are like mice. If they don't know they're on camera, they're going to act like they're not on camera. So you have to have it by the till or at the front showing that there are cameras. Because then they know that they're on camera. And then the teenagers, then the goofy 16-year-olds that were worried, they're going to be aware that it's on camera. And then you'll still have the unhoused person who's having a tough time, who's stealing to actually like buy food from the fucking store after he flips the stuff. Fair, he's still going to steal. The guy who's a professional thief who knows where to flip the stuff, he's still going to steal. Fine, okay, but you just reduced half. You reduce the teenager or the rebellious 40-year-old housewife who wants to feel like she got something back on this little guy. All those people aren't going to take it. You have to be you already have to be enough of a scumbag to steal once you know that there's cameras. What's his humbly said as ex-scumbag. You have to be self-admitted. You have to be self-confident. You have to be self-confident. Which is funny. I think I just made like a philosophical statement about wealthy people at the same time. So yeah, the wealthy 40-year-old woman who wants to steal to feel alive, yes, she doesn't feel alive. The homeless guy who's stealing, the unhoused guy who's stealing to go pawn it and eat. He's self-aware. You know what I mean? More than the rich lady. And oh my gosh, it's not even half the items. Man, I didn't make a lot of money today. Bruh, I'm disappointed. Okay, so the lesson is I think the strategy is already going to be similar to what me and Patty were discussing. I think I need to shift how I do max sold. As you saw, those larger lots, we're doing okay. I'll take a risk and do an experiment with the products that come in. I'm getting another large batch from my homie this week. And I think I'm going to launch one that's just like big bunch of stuff, big bunch of stuff, big bunch of stuff. And then I already have some shot individually. So then we can see the direct contrast. We can just have like, maybe it would do two different, I don't know. Fuck. Yeah, because I only have like 50 of this current one done, right? I only have like 50 of this current one done. So I can like maybe do an eBay purge with the current one. And then I'll just do big lots at the next one and we'll test to see if the results go any different. But even then, it's like, because I'm trying to think, you want, ideally, like if you have 30 lots, they all go for $100, you're at $3,000. Is that still worth the amount of time that you put into it? Not fully. Not fully. The person who steals to live is alive, and the person who steals for excitement is dead. Yeah, exactly. Big 5-head moment. Personally, that's how I see life. If I don't know if that's a bigger lesson on my morals of how I view society, but that's funny. That's funny. I blew my own mind there. I had my own 5-head moment, eh? Yeah, so the tactics that I learned today, it makes sense that it's a little lower, right? Because I was doing some of the eBay recycling, so fair that the stuff isn't like super high. Definitely didn't need to be. Some of the bundle lots, it's confusing. Like when we're looking at the kitchen lots, it's hard to tell why some of the pans are selling better over the others. I never would have estimated that, like, the vacuum. The vacuum was a second thought, literally, and it sold for over $50, which isn't bad, but it means, like, don't pass the appliances, so the staples, a vacuum, microwave, the fridge, obviously going to sell, so don't change those up. I think I might just, roll the dice. Because then that would make sense for our overall plans too, right? The reason I'm hesitating here is I'm trying to make sure I remain with a bit of candor about our business. But I think I'm hitting the eureka moment here. I have to think about it a bit more after working with my business partner next week. But long story short, because we do the ethical junk removal. And part of the ethical junk removal is we're trying to develop the process, and it's already starting, which is great to see because it was a serious objective of ours, in that if you are a person who needs to sell a home, your grandmother could have passed. You could be a real estate agent. You could be doing this commercial. You could be doing this personally. You have to hire a junk removal company. They charge you an arm and a leg because of a lot of the materials that are required. It'd be bringing the big truck, bringing the crew of 5 or 6 people. But if you care about these items not just going to the dump, that 1-800-GOT-JUNK, they say that they help find good homes for stuff, but they really don't. It all just gets thrown into the dump, right? So part of our service is the idea that doing these auctions isn't necessarily about us capitalizing and profiting a whole butt ton. It's about the fact that, like, the person who bought that garden lot is going to use that garden lot. So you can know that your grandfather's tools are going to get put to good use. And then in contrast, some of the commercial real estate agents, it's also a beneficial public relations position for them to be in, right? It's helpful for them to sit there and be able to say, like, hey, client, I can tell you, since you're a hippie or whatever your values are, that, you know what, it's not all going to the dump. I got these guys, they run this amazing business, and you can see where these items go. They end up either here or here. Yeah, they donate some of it, they take the rest here. Some of it does go in a bin, right? Then that client takes a discounted rate for the junk removal and the transferring of the stuff, right? And that has been successful. So far this month, already, just this month, 2 clients that are not only paying us for the junk removal, like paying us to clean shit up, go in and take out all the gross stuff, the garbage, the cleaning stuff that no one needs, that you can't resell, etc. We can take away all of the sellable products, put it in a van, and sell it immediately, right? I'm just so reflective. It's probably not the best time to be streaming while I'm trying to figure out my business plans. But so, context, rewind, right? We offer ethical junk removal. Works for both commercial and residential clients, right? Real estate agents, happy because they can tell them their stuff is going to good homes. Residential clients, happy they can get the service because they know their stuff is getting repurposed from their loved ones. We offer discounted rate to do this service because we take a good chunk of it and we do these auctions with it. So it's mutually beneficial. Yes, we sell it, but we are not being capitalist jerks about selling it. That said, now that is part of the issue of the process. It's very good right now that we've had 2 of those, but these individual item lots that I have been doing through the auction, It is not a good thing that they are selling at such a low ticket value, because that does not compensate our labor time. So what I am thinking as a result, to be my genius solution, is ideally then we already have a premium auction coming up. We want to try to sort that out for high bid, try it out on the more collector based platform. We do those there, and then when we clear out a house like we just did, we go on max sold and we do a lot of 11 chairs. Lot of this, because like that jewelry, the junkiest jewelry one is the one that's really, I think that dime bag of jewelry showed people would rather pay for the pile of junk. I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna talk to my business partner. I'll take the fucking risk. Yeah, that's it. There you go, chat. Stream's gonna end in a moment. It's also a perfect 2-hour mark. I'll do a summarize. I'll do some promo. I will be on tomorrow, but I'll be doing the golf tapes. I really have to get the YouTube video. I have to get my YouTube monetized, and I have to continue my cheat code with the rest of the golf tapes that I have. So I would like to do a stream there, because I also did find another multi-stream simulcasting software. So I would like to get that finished up in the evening. I do have a flea market during the day. So after I am done that flea market, I will come in and I will get the software ready, and we'll stream some golf videos. And then I will convert those to put them on my YouTube channel, because I need to get the YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers so that I'm monetized. And that gives me evergreen content. And then I can start divesting some time into like these streams. See how I was just crashing out for an hour? Imagine if you could watch all that in a 20-minute video. I would ideally, like, if my YouTube's monetized, I know I'm not going to get rich. I'm going to get 50 bucks. I'm going to get 200 bucks. I would like to be able to then get a buddy, give him that 100 bucks, cut this into a 20-minute YouTube video. That's okay content, right? That me just stressing coming to a solution at the end from the beginning of me being pissed, that's a good storyline, right? This, too long for your average Joe. For someone who doesn't watch live streams, it's a diverging, it's not a digestible type of content. So I was going to say it's diverging interest. That's why I flip-flopped. But why am I justifying it to you buggers? You can tell I use all the Aussie slang now to avoid swearing for the filters now. That's talk about mimicking. But okay, so lesson today, that was, we figured out our new strat. I'm gonna take the risk. I want to roll the dice. There's a few things that could be pulled and clipped into a video. Yeah, that's exactly it. So I need to grind with the cheat code to get the channel monetized, because I do not have excess funds right now. And I've said since day one, and I have to, if I break that word, it's not good for my soul and conscience. But once the YouTube is monetized, then the YouTube money goes right back into it. So whether it's like Stoned particularly that's watching in the chat, first it goes editor, and then it goes paying you, and you're going to be mod. Because once the videos start popping off, I need a head mod, and you're just going to be head moderator, and I will pay you to watch these streams in the same capacity that you do. You don't have to be clipping. You can just make sure that no one's fucking around. But I need the video editor, because this, and when it's me and Patty, or when I collab, when I do Acorn Auctions Hamilton, that's good content. That's like the live reacting to my best friend's auction. How many things did we sell this time? How many things did they sell this time? And then that gives more collab opportunities, because then I can do this format with a different auction house. I just need the editor to have the format down. So once I start getting a little bit of YouTube money, I have to find someone that's willing to take a little bit less at first. I have to be like, long-term deal, long-term deal. All I'm getting for ad rev right now is 50 bucks, but I need you to turn this one video twice a month into a 20-minute video. Please and thank you. And then I'll do the other, and we can work from there. I love making content. I love producing content. Hate editing. Hate editing. Despise editing. I'm a writer. I'd rather work with words. I'm a public relations guy. I'd rather draft strategy. I love drafting strategy. I love writing plans. I love writing invoices, drafting templates. That side of it, video editing, just staring and the cutting and photo edits, I can deal with a lot more. Photo edits feel more like the same compositional work as like writing strategy. Video editing is like mind-numbing. I love the final product and I love the process of making the product, and then the video editing, I fucking hate it. I hate it. So that's the hard part. But it's, again, we talked about the being honest with yourself as a business person. That's why I'm honest about it. Right? That way I can deal with it. That way when I hit that roadblock, I know what the roadblock is. I'm not just like dicking around for a month because I'm lying to myself that I like it or something, which I did do in the past. But that was early on. That was 7 years ago now, probably, when that was happening, when I first started video editing. And it was like, oh, I just don't like this part. And then it goes Oreo. Yeah. Felt like I bared enough of my heart here tonight. Stoned, I appreciate you coming through. Again, everyone, this will be occurring on a monthly basis. We do have a premium auction coming up. I am typically here with a business partner, but he's out being a good dad. And our good friends at Acorn Auctions Hamilton does have a very big blockbuster auction coming up for early next month. And I know I took a month off, but what this kicked off was the beginning. Getting back to this live streaming. I do love it. I do miss it. It's also a motivation for me to grind things the F out. So, probably work on that. I got one cat with the zoomies, so I'm going to go see what he's up to. Let's see, can I rapid fire? What else did I miss? This is the rust. So I shook the rust off, had an existential crisis, had a mental breakdown, created a solution, gave some advice, dropped some knowledge bombs, talked about some good TV shows. That's quality content. But if you want to follow me, I am most typically on Instagram. You can follow me at NarleyMedia. That is NarleyMedia. And my business account is Grandmas_Deadstock. That is Grandma's Deadstock, okay? My eBay channel and store goes by the same title. I typically stream here at least a couple times a week. I used to only do it almost 2 times a week, and now we're here. I try to aim for 4 to 5, all right? We're back on schedule. I'm going to pop in, even if it's just for an hour, 2 hours at night. We're going to get this back and cracking. You can find me on the YouTube channel of the same name. That is NarleyMedia Media. I am also on Twitch, and I am on Kick. I do simulcast. I will be experimenting this coming week I'm going to try to do like the YouTube mobile format, because I think it will reach more of a diverse audience. But that is neither here nor there. I'm getting caught up in the semantics again because I'm too excited to be here. But check out the eBay store. Buy some stuff. We are also in the downtown location that I sit in Toronto. I do not love their business, but if you want to see it, is at 306 College Street near Queen and College and Spadina. And me and Patty's do these auctions on a monthly basis. And I will be building a website for us if you want to learn more about that ethical junk removal that I was just rambling about for the Lord knows how long. You will be able to participate in the process of me deciphering how to describe what that business function is. He's a sassy boy. All right, chat. I think that was a good one. Okay. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here. Stoned, good to see Sensei drop by the chat. I miss him. I miss the crew, and I'm excited to get back to it. Oh, I clicked the co-host button. I was trying to fucking clip it. I clicked the co-host. Well, I missed the clip then. Whatever. Have a good night, bro. We'll be in touch. I will be on doing a golf stream tomorrow, 110%. I gotta game the system. I have to have that running tomorrow night. Later, G. Later, G. Later.